All right, friends, for those of you who have knee pain, you might understand this, but you have to change positions sometimes because it gets achy. So we're going to do chapter 10 in a different spot so I can be more comfortable. Having my knee propped up was too high. Okay, chapter 10, The Lieutenant. Since he was retired and didn't have much else to do, the lieutenant decided to do some espionage. He waited around on park benches in public areas, watching who's coming and going out of the Capitol building. He got very acquainted with the faces of everyone there and everyone associated with Global Water Corp. He began piecing together the congressmen and senators he suspected were taking bribes from Global. He compiled a list, and now he went to work. He used his connections in Washington to do a little bit of research on these fine ladies and gentlemen. One by one, he picked them off. I'm calling them out not only on taking bribes for Global Water Corp, but also on other skeletons they may have had in their prospective closets. It didn't take long before they caved. Next, he set his sights on Global Water Corp. He suspected they would target the newspapers and websites again. One fine evening, he had the dumb luck of sitting at a restaurant right next to a member of Global Water Corp and a publisher from the New York Times. While at dinner, he overheard the gentleman from Global suggest that the publisher of the Times should stop publishing the Common Sense Solution and should instead write articles promoting the anti-pipeline conspiracy theory. During their dinner meeting, the lieutenant turned his chair towards the table and offered the gentleman from Global an envelope. Inside the envelope was information about this man and his financial history, not to mention his less than honest stock market activity. The lieutenant had enough information to send the man to prison. He proceeded to inform him to spread the word to his colleagues. As it turns out, almost all of the wealthiest and most influential people in the world have skeletons in their closets. I wrote this a long time ago before I knew just how many. The lieutenant had a lot to find, and the lieutenant had a lot of time to find them. November, election day. The pipeline is on the ballot. The trio is sitting at a local bar right around the corner from their office. If they win, they'll celebrate. If they lose, they'll need a stiff drink. Either way, it seemed like a logical place to wait. Amy's cell rings. It's her dad. She answers and walks outside. Congratulations. I have an inside scoop that tells me that the pipeline has been voted in. Are you sure? She almost didn't want to ask. Yep, not only did it win, but it won by a lot. It turns out you were right, her dad said proudly. Amy wasn't sure what to say. She mumbled, a weak and unsure, wow. Looking for a place to sit down, she had worked on this for so long. She could hardly believe they finally got there. She succeeded. She won. Her dad, knowing her the way he did, he said, okay, hon, call me later. Go tell Jim the good news. I'm proud of you, Amy. Okay, Dad. Thanks. I'll call you later. She walked back in the bar like a zombie. It hadn't really sunk in yet. Jim and Bob were looking at her with completely straight faces. Dad said it passed, she said in a low voice. We did it. We won. She said a little clearer as it started to sink in. Jim and Bob erupted with excitement. Around! Bob shouted as they watched the results roll in. The trio celebrated until the wee hours of the morning. Late in the night, Amy got a text from Ben. Congratulations, was all it said. She decided not to tell Jim or Bob about it. All right, that's the end of part one. Part one is the beginning. Part two is, well, that it's passed and they have to build the pipeline. I'm going to start a new video.